I think probably one of the biggest things I want to say is I've been doing some research on Gen Z.
Yeah,
Gen Z is age
yeah,
14 to 29. The young people, here in the state, we have a voice. We have the power, but we have to use it. And you're welcome to come to our page, Recall Florida Group on Facebook. We're also on X at Recall Florida. And you can find out more at recallflorida.org. You guys can come on and be a part of that. Join in the discussion. We have counties from all over the state of Florida that are sharing stories of corruption. You might come to our page and see down in Sarasota they're dealing with this issue, and then up here in Santa Rosa I'm dealing with the same issue, and I get to watch how they handle that issue, and then I can then turn around and apply that same action to Santa Rosa. One of the things that is really interesting, and I wish people were paying more attention. Manatee County has won some major wins against the builder and developer, and a lot of it is based upon how they word their land development code or how they apply certain things. And when I watch them and watch how they handle an issue, I think, man, what if I could multiply
right,
that 67 times?
right.
We could just about bring an end to a lot of this control that's going on and this overdevelopment. I think we could put a serious halt to that. So there is ways to do that. You can get involved before the legislative session. They have legislative delegation days.
Right.
And every year, 5 or 10 people will come and they'll get in front of the legislative delegation meeting. Imagine if it was standing room only when
Right.
you went in there.
That's
Be-
what we need.
yeah.
That's huge. Hey, you're right about Manatee. I watched that happen. It was a prior election cycle. I saw the way that a lot of grassroots, the messaging, the way, and they completely, kind of overhauled it and showed that, hey, we're in charge. And you're right about how they handle it. And that's key too. What you were saying. Instead of the connection of, I can see what you're doing and dealing with in your area, and that connection alone is really important because what we've noticed, especially in like let's just use the data center issue as an example,
Right.
is that most people, they come together, they become an expert, regular citizens become an expert in zoning, they become an expert, and because they dig through all the information. And then what happens is that then another data center starts popping up in another location. Well, those people have to like reinvent the wheel. And by the time they do that, they're most likely behind. The best way is I can see what you're dealing with in your county. How can I apply your wins to my county?
Right,
And that's
exactly.
important because that way we're not behind the ball every single time. So that communication across counties is really important. I think you're right about that. That's a big thing. That and showing up. I think a lot of people underestimate the power of everybody showing up. And I think that's kind of like what we're trying to show too. It's just like to show up, film, show people what's going on, and get people involved. And I can feel a change happening. I know we've
Oh,
talked about this
absolutely.
before. Yeah.
Absolutely. Because I think people are starting to say, hey, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I feel like powerless down here in my county because I can't get anybody's attention. But when you look out and you see
Right.
the whole state is dealing with it.
Yeah.
So there's a certain bonding there, a certain unity. They'll have a conversation in this chat or this over here, and you start to see people coming together because it's not Republicans versus the Democrats, it's us versus them.
That's key.
And I think that's
Yeah.
the thing that we have to understand as citizens. And I'm glad that I ran into Andrew because me and him see things, we kind of see things in the same line. And he's doing a good thing. He's going out on the street. He's man on the street. He's getting that front facing conversation going on with you guys out there. And I think that's important.
I appreciate it, and I kind of got inspiration from what you guys are doing because the biggest thing too is consistency, and I think that's a big, a lack of consistency can throw everything out of balance.
Right.
And so you guys have been steady, consistent, and really beefing everything up. Like I can visually see it, which is awesome. And you're right about Gen Z, and what I keep trying to tell young kids too is just like, look, we were all young. We all kind of maybe got into some trouble having fun, this and that. Why
Right.
not do good trouble?
Right.
And this stuff can be fun. because there's a lot of like doom and gloom because
Right.
it affects you. You visually see the change in your community, and it's easy to get down and sad and depressed about it. So I think one, the community of Recall Florida group, you can see other people dealing with it. You can chat with them. Having that sense of community feels good because you're not the only one.
Right.
But then also, we need to find ways to make it fun to deal with this.